people have asked me, first of all, my wife, why I decided to run for this office. Some very well scientifically polled numbers that they got 12 months ago, which showed that 15 seats currently held by Democrats in the House are vulnerable. If we can hold what we've got and flip 9 of those seats, then the majority will flip from Democrat to Republican in the House this year. It's vital that we take the House this year because the next seating of the General Assembly will decide redistricting for the next 10 years based on this year's census. And I know that North Carolina is one of the highest tax states in the country. The Tax Foundation ranks us number 12 on the list of tax burdens that our citizens bear. It's an uncompetitive state tax system, and until that gets fixed, we're not going to be competitive trying to get people to come to North Carolina. Our General Assembly is using a method that's at least 30 years outdated anyway. And what I mean by that is, the General Assembly knows we're not competitive, so what do? Every few years they offer a huge multi-million-dollar tax break to some big corporation to come and locate in North Carolina. Net employment gains, not just in North Carolina, but in this country in the last 20 years, have been brought about by small businesses, the kind that you and I operate. Where a businessman or a businesswoman is going to invest their next dollar if they have a choice. And you know where that is too, right? They're going to invest it in their business. Why? Because that's where they know they can make a profit. So if we give some of this outrageous tax money that we're sending to Raleigh back to the people who own the small businesses in North Carolina and quit overtaxing them, the money will flow into our economy. They're going to invest it in their business. That means either hiring new employees, or new capital spending, or advertising, or new services from local people that they're going to hire to service them. They're going to put that money back in the local economy. And that's what we need to do, is put the money back in the hands of the people that operate businesses here in North Carolina already. It's not a coincidence that we're 12th in the nation in tax burden and 9th in the nation in unemployment. That is not a coincidence.
The great thing about it is, Jeff wants to be there because he feels like he wants to make a difference. He wants to participate. He wants to make North Carolina a better place and make our state a better state, a more conservative state, and a state that, once again, is where industries want to come. It's where they want to create jobs. And we were that at one point in time, but we've drifted away from that now.
Conservative principles simply mean principles that make sense. I continue to spend more money than we have. We cannot continue to go further and further and further in debt. And one thing people don't know is we're in debt in North Carolina just like we're in debt federally. I saw a figure the other day that says if you take all the debt and unfunded liabilities in the state and local governments combined in North Carolina, that's over $9,000 for every man, woman, and child in this state. It's over $20,000 for every full-time worker in this state. And we never hear that. Fortunately, there's good news. We got a great chance to turn this around this year. The polls show that we can take the seats that we need to take the majority in the House. We need somebody that will recognize the taxpayers of this district and the law-abiding citizens of this district as their constituency, and somebody that will vote with them in mind. And I want to be there for anybody who wants to contact me. If you've got questions, please contact me. You can go on my website, collinsforhouse.com.